President Yahya Jammeh has ignored a midnight deadline to step down, and troops from other African countries are poised to move into the country to ensure the transfer of power. Jammeh has steadfastly refused to leave office after losing elections last month, despite pressure from other West African states. Nigeria has sent troops and fighter jets to Senegal, whose own forces are massed on the Gambian border. Opposition leader Adama Barrow is due to be sworn in today after defeating Jammeh in the election. Now he's currently sheltering in Senegal. Thousands of people have fled from the Gambia, including holidaymakers from Britain and Europe. Now, for the latest on that situation on the ground, we are now joined, and we are joined here by Advocate Pansy Dlakula, the chair of the Commission on People and Human Rights at the African Union. A very good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning.
And also Issa Kormo, he's an African specialist and analyst here in studio. Mr. Kormo, very good morning to you.
Morning.
First and foremostly, you are on the ground. You were there in November. Please, Advocate, give us an update as to what is transpiring in Gambia.
As you know, the headquarters of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights is in Banjul, the Gambia. And I have been traveling to that country for the past 11 years. We were there in November for the session of the Commission. Yesterday, we took a decision in consultation with the chairperson of the AUC, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, to evacuate our staff because the situation was such that we couldn't guarantee their safety. So they have left. We have closed the office. They are at the moment in Senegal. We received unconfirmed reports that the remaining members of the cabinet have been fired. I don't know how far true that is, whether you have heard that. But what you see in the Gambia is a culmination of years of violations of human rights with impunity.
How's that?
If you can go into our website, you will see the number of resolutions that we have passed against the Gambia on the situation of violations of freedom of expression. Many journalists have been imprisoned, some have disappeared. You would recall the case of Chief Ibrahim Mane, the case of Haidara, who was killed. And regarding Ibrahim Mane, a case was brought before the ECOWAS court against the Gambia, according to which the Gambia was ordered to produce Ibrahim Mane and to pay his family compensation. President Jammeh ignored the ruling of the ECOWAS court. So what I'm saying to you is that there's been impunity for many years. He has had problems or challenges with Senegal on issues of customs. So the human rights situation in the Gambia has been problematic for many years. Ever since I joined the Commission in 2005, I had been dealing with the situation of the Gambia.
Why has the AU been so slow in making sure that these type of human abuses does not happen?
The challenge that we have as the Commission is that we submit our reports to the AU through the summit. And it is at that level where we have challenges on the implementation of the recommendations that we have made. We have made many recommendations on the Gambia. The latest resolution that we adopted against the Gambia was in November. Last year, after I met Mrs. Dabo, the wife of the opposition leader who was in jail, and informed us about his medical condition, about the number of women belonging to the opposition who were in prison, who were raped. You'd recall that 2 people were arrested, members of the opposition. I think it was a groomer and another one who were arrested during the peaceful demonstration in April last year. So it's a whole host of human rights violations that have gone on for many years with impunity.
Now, Isaac, you've been following this story for quite a while, and you know also a lot about the area. Tell us about the person in charge right now, Jammeh, and how did it come that he is in power? Because he's the man that mentioned that he will be in power for a million or a billion years, is it?
Yeah. Well, he first came in through a military coup. Yeah, and with that, he sort of, in fact, he was very popular with that military coup. He overthrew Dawda Jawara, yeah, a very democratic man. But all the same, with time, as advocates said, he became very sort of dictatorial. And all what was said here is exactly what happened. In fact, it's even worse. It will be remembered about last year that he actually sort of hanged some 2 prisoners, yeah, and there was a very big outcry, international outcry. Yeah, but he just continued and he just hanged them. So basically, he's a dictator. So when you ask him how he came into power, through a military coup, and after that, he actually did two things. He did one thing. He actually went and filled with the centers of power. Yeah, he filled with the parliament, where he actually made sure that through the laws, that all parliamentarians were there, were beholden to him. Yeah, it's a sort of situation that we have got here. If you do not toe the line, you're out as a parliamentarian. He actually filled with the justice system. Now, the independence of the judiciary. Now, you should understand that the Gambians, the preferred profession of the elites, it's the legal profession. They produce very sort of prominent legal specialists in West Africa. Yeah, even Fatou Bensouda is one of them. Yes. Yeah, but then you find that the Chief Justice of the Gambia is not a Gambian. Most of the Gambian judges have moved out. So basically, he has filled with the centralized power. Yeah, the independence of the judiciary is not there. The independence of the legislature is not there. The institutions have been disturbed. The media has been disturbed. Yeah, the media people are the people who really suffer, who bore the brunt. Yeah, they've been killed, basically. When you talk of these disappearances, they've been taking place, I think, from about 2007, 2005. Yeah, it's not a new thing. So that is the situation.
Yeah, but
Advocate Takula, if I can just come in and ask you something. On social media, there's a sense from users that the African Union is a little bit under pressure here. They need to set an example. Do you have that same sense that there's a focus now on the African Union to see if they can see justice to be done?
I think so, because if President Jammeh is allowed to continue to ignore institutions such as ECOWAS and the AU, then we are in trouble. It means that we will be, or the African Union will be endorsing his long practice of impunity. So I think this is the time, and all eyes are on ECOWAS and on the African Union to see how they're going to proceed with the situation today. But from my point of view is that I think we must try by all means to pursue diplomatic, find a diplomatic solution to the problem. Because if the African Union, ECOWAS, is to deploy the military, you must remember that President Jammeh himself is a soldier in civilian clothes. Yeah. And he will fight. And lives will be lost. The Gambia will return to conflict. People will die, and to rebuild that country will take a long time.
Now, Isaac, Nigeria has sent troops, and there's fighter jets to Senegal, and their own forces are also standing by on the Gambian border. Is this not perhaps a threat to the democracy that the Gambia is supposed to enjoy, and perhaps on their independence as an independent state?
It's got nothing to do with democracy. If there was anything to do, maybe it would be with sovereignty. But
sovereignty, yes.
Now, with the sovereignty, basically, we've got, that's a regional body of ECOWAS, and it's like the EU. You know, with the EU and things like the ECOWAS, you surrender some bit of your sovereignty, being part of that union, and also being a member of the AU. Yeah. So basically, what is happening is that people are actually restoring democracy. Yeah. So the measure of sovereignty cannot be. I mean, and also it's another thing of right to protect. Yeah. The man is a tyrant. Yeah, these are human rights issues. But again, I would say something. With the whole issue, I would also like to point to sort of an interest, to, not interest, but view to the fact that the Gambian thing was mishandled by the opposition coalition. It will be remembered that when the election results were announced, and it was announced that he had lost the elections, he conceded defeat, and he congratulated Barrow.
So what should have happened then?
No, but what should have happened? The people should have kept quiet. I'll tell you what happened. What happened then, the opposition was so elated that they actually sort of started giving interviews with international media. And also, I interviewed Mr. Wa Juara. He's an opposition leader, yeah, and has been detained by Jammeh. But the things that they're coming up with, okay, they've got a right to speech. They're saying that they're going to rejoin the Commonwealth. There's nothing wrong with that. They said they're going to join the ICC. There's nothing wrong with that. But then they said they're going to drag Yahya Jammeh to the ICC. Now, why do you do that when the man is still in power? Yeah, they actually said it openly. They said it on Al Jazeera. They said it on my program. Yeah, I've got it taped.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I thought that was a bit naive, and that's what happened, made him turn over. And again, I mean to say that now that the man has actually sort of taken over power and refusing to leave, it's actually sort of to try to preempt that issue of him being taken to the ICC. Yeah.
Advocate, will he face those charges of human rights abuses?
Well, who will charge him? We'll see what the AU is going to do. The summit, as you know, is starting on Sunday. I will be going to the summit to present the report of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, and it contains a resolution against the Gambia. We'll see. I think we all have to wait and see how ECOWAS and the AU is going to handle the Gambian situation.
So today is a very critical day, isn't it?
It is, but you know, President Jammeh is a very stubborn man. I'm hoping that he will listen to the voice of reason and do the right thing, because it cannot be that people should die because one man wants to hold on to power.
Isaac, in closing, what do you expect today?
Well, in closing, I think, unfortunately, as Advocate said, the military option, it will be the only option. And with that, Jammeh will be arrested. And I think but he definitely will be taken to the ICC. It's the end game that's there. But unfortunately, Jammeh has got very big, some support on the ground. And that, again, it will bode well for the unity of the Gambia. So there's a lot of work which is there in Barrow's hands. Yeah.
Mr. Como, as well as Advocate Tlakula, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and
Thank
giving
you.
us an update.
Thanks for having us.
There you have it. That's the latest on the Gambia. At 11 o'clock, we'll continue with that discussion on the Gambia. What will happen today? That's another question. Advocate Pansy Tlakula, she's the chair of the Commission on People and Human Rights at the African Union, as well as Mr. Isaac Como. He is an African specialist joining us in studio on a regular basis to contribute to the story. Now,